What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that you're excited because we have a very special treat in store for you today. Obviously, the Super Bowl has been set. The Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers playing in the game that we wish the Dallas Cowboys were playing in. And I know we're still coming to terms with the fact that the Cowboys are not in this game, but the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl, and it's a lot of fun. And our hope here at Blogging the Boys, and my hope is somebody who's obviously involved, is that we'll be able to give you and provide you some things throughout the run-up to the Super Bowl, some fun interviews here at Blogging the Boys and with my friends at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Some cool conversations that I think you will enjoy. And we're getting started off with a very early special surprise. I was able to sit down on Tuesday with my good friend, Kay Adams. You know her, of course, from everywhere, but from these days up in Adams, where she covers the NFL and basically everything in the universe. Kay is hosting P&G's Battle of the Paddles. We talked about that. We've put information for it down in the description below, and that's going to be a lot of fun, obviously, in the week leading up to the Super Bowl. But I had some questions for her about the teams, about the Niners and the Chiefs, obviously, but also, of course, about the Cowboys and, of course, about Kay's career. I think she's done an incredible amount of things and done it at a really high level. So it was a lot of fun to get to chat with her. This conversation is also available on the Blogging the Boys podcast network. If you want to listen, please subscribe over there. Please subscribe right here down below, and make sure to subscribe to Kay's YouTube channel. We'll put a link there as well. So yeah, without further ado, here she is, the one and only Kay Adams, joins us next. Very pleased now to be joined by the one and only, the internationally famous, known all over this galaxy and every other one, whichever ones the Guardians explored. One of my very best friends, I'll just go that far, from up in Adams and from really everywhere else. It is Kay Adams. Kay, it's great to see you.
RJ, Ben Bestie, love ya. Good to see you. One of my favorite backgrounds in sports. And for you to call me internationally known as wild, because you are always everywhere educating me over at Blogging the Boys.
Is that a pencil you're waving for the visual audience?
It's a sky blue Crayola, and I've worn it down, so I need to sharpen it.
You a note taker, like a heavy note taker, I imagine?
I don't know, I drew like a I don't even know. I'm just doing some doodles, and I'm just really enjoying my time. But we have so much to talk about. Let's get to it.
Yeah,
P&G Battles, baby. It's going on Wednesday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern on Overtime Seasons YouTube. So you get to watch it live. And what are you going to watch? You're going to watch 8 of the best in the game, 8 of the best NFL players going at it. Highly competitive, highly trash talking, doing their thing in a table tennis tournament with P&G. P&G, of course, official locker products of the NFL. Gillette, I'm sure you've heard of it. Old Spice, get you smelling great. You've got Head and Shoulders, you've got Tide. So they're going to come with it on Wednesday.
This is year 2 of the P&G Battle of the Paddles. I was a part of year 1, not trying to brag. I interviewed Trevor Lawrence last year. He was very excited about it. Super cool. He was actually very cool. I had my camera off for like the first half of the Zoom conversation, and he played it off totally chill. So do you think he's the favorite to win as a result of all that?
Well, he is. I didn't know that you talked to him. Do I need to know anything? Prep me
Well,
for my.
the three of us are best friends as a community. You, me, and
I
him.
forgot. Well, now you're lying. I thought you, Nasia, I thought you and I were really best friends. I'm not best friends with Trevor Lawrence, but he's going to bring competition for sure. I don't know how much table tennis he actually plays. I feel like he's in, Doug Peterson's office the whole time. Like, when you're a quarterback, it's a little bit different. But I'm going to say Trent Taylor, who was also there last year, who won the whole thing, was a late ad. He's sort of known in the world of the NFL as a great table tennis player. He's going to come back. He's the one to beat. We also have Jamal Williams, which would be so fun. He'll add a whole other element of hilarity and levity to the whole thing. And then Saquon Barkley is no joke. Saquon Barkley's competitive. I've played Connect 4 with him, so I just feel like he's really going to bring it as well. But it's all going down, and it's a lot of fun, and everybody can watch it live with me.
Very awesome. Everybody will, of course, watch it live. This is a new thing and a unique thing, and I feel like you have your handprints all over unique things. I say this sincerely. You're one of the bravest people, I think, in sports media. You're so adventurous and try so many new things. I remember when you would do fantasy segments with Michelle Beadle way back in the day. Where does that come from? And how do you sleep? I mean, to absorb as much, I guess, content and information as you must to be willing to try and do like the Netflix, thing you did with, out in Vegas. Speaking of Vegas and golf, like it feels like you are Miss Say Yes to everything.
I definitely have learned a good lesson in my career has been not to say yes to everything. And that only comes with experience. I liken it to being Patrick Mahomes and what he's doing right now. Not that I'm the greatest, or I'm not saying that at all, but his ability to just take what's given to him, not have to just put everything on his shoulders. Something I've had to learn, because there was a time, RJ, and we've known each other long enough that like I would say yes to absolutely everything, and I'm not doing that anymore. So it takes a bit of discipline. I don't know why you would not want to be adventurous. I guess it's just how I'm wired. It's a question I don't have a super tangible, sticky answer to. I think when presented with the excitement of what is going on in our world right now with the media landscape, and this tech company wants in, and Netflix is like, we want in on sports. When you're in a room with passionate producers, the ones that are at the top of the game, saying, we want to dabble here, we'd like to make history, how do you not get juiced by that? So I think it's always keeping your ears and eyes open to those opportunities and what's going on. It's definitely a 24-hour situation, but one that I'm constantly monitoring, and I'm very interested in like that part of the less traditional trajectory of sports media.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Your show, as an example, somebody could watch the first portion of it on YouTube and then have to pause and come back to it later in the day, or have to drive somewhere and just listen to the podcast version. It is very cool the way things are so accessible. And I think you've done a really great job of maximizing all of the tentacles of that. You've asked me a lot about the Cowboys in the past. And you're also a really positive person. And this is a really down bad offseason for, I feel down bad about the Cowboys. And I don't know of anything they could do to make me feel better. So I have nowhere else to turn. Given the
Oh
way things have
gosh.
gone, well, the way they lost, and that it just keeps happening to them, it feels really difficult to imagine anything they could do this offseason to rope me back in. What if you were charged with satisfying Cowboys fans this offseason? What could conceivably happen?
Redo it, figure out your Dak situation.
Your other best friend, right there.
I would just say figure out what that looks like. He's due what, 60 mil?
That's
Like,
correct. He's on the books for $60 million, and that's tough
what does
scene.
that look like? Wouldn't it make Cowboys fans a little better given the resume that we have to sort of rework that and make everybody on all sides comfortable? Um, I don't know if this makes you feel better. I talked to Jalen Smith today, and he said that he does not put it all on Mike McCarthy. So he thought that it was a good decision that he was not relieved from his duties. I don't know what the fan base temperature is down there right now. Would Belichick have been an upgrade on him? I certainly would think so in a lot of ways. I was very interested to see how that would shake out with Jerry Jones and company. I know that there's just such a small window. They have to get it right. They have the talent. I'm going to hopefully sit down CD at Super Bowl next week. I'm sure you will as well. And sort of get in his head with everything that was going on with Dak. But let's figure out the Dak situation and how that can work for everybody.
Yeah, that is always a complicated manner. Jalen, a part of Dak's draft class back in 2016, so they're buddies. That was a good time. As it relates to the Super Bowl, though, obviously you got a lot going on with P&G, as we touched on. It's kind of boring when we have the same one that we had, 4 years ago. Or do you feel that way?
I think there's certainly, it depends on how, do you like the consistent greatness, which there's a
Mm.
part of it that loves it. It's the Chiefs again, fourth time in 5 years. Like, how can you not just be in awe of what that is? And the whole thing looks very different. Patrick's ability to evolve, and take what's given to him and let the defense sort of do their thing is fascinating to watch. And I think, in this game where it's literally any given Sunday, consistent greatness, like what Tomlin does, like it's just incredible and rare and amazing and should be celebrated. So no, I'm not bored of it in the slightest. I think on the NFC side of things, that's the team I would have loved for the Lions to go. Would have loved it, but to me, the best team, I like it for once if the best teams made it, and that would have been to me Lamar Jackson and the Ravens from the regular season, of course, and those Niners. I would have liked to see those two go at it for round two, but there's so much beauty in this. It always just ends up incredible. Will it be a defensive showdown now? It's Super Bowl 58. Who knows?
It is cool on some level. You're right. I mean, greatness beating greatness is fun. Debo's one of your other. You got a lot of best friends. Okay, I mean,
A lot of
yeah, quite
us.
quite popular. And that's so cool when something like that works out. When you have him on, consecutively throughout the season, or however often it is, and then he winds up in the Super Bowl. Like, sometimes sports and life are just luck that way. Calculated luck, but luck nonetheless. That being said, you are somebody who has a history with fantasy and things like that. What do you like early on? What kind of prop bets? Maybe they are Debo associated.
I haven't really looked at them. I think I mean, I'm sure there's a really fun, scrimmage over that I will take for Debo, because I think with what he looked like last week, and I do feel like at certain points of the season, there was adversity that he was dealing with more than even he was sharing when it came to the hairline fracture and some of the other things. And you saw him after the win. It's all over social media, just the emotion sort of finally catching up to him. So I think he's going to play a huge role in this matchup, and he's healthy. They managed him, I think, correctly, and so he'll make really big plays. I don't know, like let's not pretend this Chiefs defense isn't like a world
Right.
beater. Like they're, like what will be the game plan? I don't know. What will be the game plan to disrupt Patrick Mahomes? Like, is Chase Young going to be able to do his thing and like do enough to be worth the big trade and the swing that they made? Oh man, I don't know. I think any prop bet involving Debo, whether it's anytime touchdown, like, and who knows? I talked about these with Hamilton yesterday. Like the fun ones, especially over at like FanDuel Sportsbook, they have non-quarterbacks throwing
Right.
touchdowns. I could see that happening. You don't think Debo, or like I could see Christian McCaffrey getting his paws on a ball and launching it down the field. So those are the ones that I find the most fun.
P&G Battle of the Paddles on Overtime Seasons YouTube channel beginning 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, February 7th, the week of the Super Bowl. When they're not watching UK and all the fun, the Battle of the Paddles is going to be. What's something else you recommend people watching? Last one, Netflix, Max, whatever you want.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. You tell me. I haven't watched anything in so long. Give me something to watch.
Um, I actually thought the thing you drew for the podcast audience looked like a peacock, and that would have been great, obviously, for the playoff game. The NFL would have really loved that, that subliminal messaging. There's a show called Traders on there that's
Okay.
kind of like a
They had me
Clue
ask
whodunit
Gronk
game.
about traders yesterday. I've never heard of it. Traders, not
Yeah.
traders like trading, like trade, like being betrayers.
Yeah, like
What's
Betrayers.
that?
It's kind of like Clue whodunit, and it's got a lot of reality TV legends, like people from Survivor, Big Brother, The Challenge on MTV. Very much worth your time.
So Gronk's going to be on season 3.
Look, Gronk, when he's not on with you, I mean, I don't know. Gronk might be
Everywhere.
he might be the only person busier than you, to be honest.
He's in a toasty. Well, he's making a lot more money than me. I'll tell you that. All right. We appreciate you, RJ. Thanks, everybody. Check out Battle of the Paddles. I'm going to get inside scoop from RJ and Trevor Lawrence that I didn't know, but Trent Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Jamal Williams, 4 other players that are going to be hanging out and playing table tennis, and you get to watch us live.
Okay, you're the best. Everybody check out Up and Adams, always, forever.
You're the best. RJ, thank you. I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Kate, for sure. We'll talk soon.
Bye.